Hello students, welcome to the fifth session of your bridge course. And in this session, we are going to discuss once again about measuring heights. But again, not with the same approach or same experimental uh, devices that we made use in the previous sessions. This is a different approach, but we'll be discussing about measuring heights by using little physics and little math also in this session. Okay, so assume that I have a building of certain height. This is very basic maths which all of you would have studied in the previous classes, which is trigonometry. Okay, so assume now you have the building like this. Okay, and if you have a protractor with you, okay, and that protractor is placed exactly at the base at certain distance from the base of the building like this. Let the distance from the base of the building to the protractor be x, right? Or let us name it as b, which represents base. Okay. Now, if I have a light, laser light, which is pointed to the top of the building, okay, from here to here, this triangle ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ತಲೆ ಸಿಗಿದ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ದಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This geometrical shape that we have here is a triangle. What kind of triangle it is? It is a right angle triangle, right? So now let this angle made by the ray of light which went from the laser to the top of the building with the base of the building or with the ground, this angle, let us name that angle as angle A. So now let height of the building be h, not h, because h is normally taken as hypotenuse, right? So let me name this as h. Let me name the height of the building as x itself, or O, which represents opposite side of the angle, right? So this is the opposite side of the angle, this is the base of the angle, and this is the hypotenuse of the triangle that we have here. Okay, let us name the triangle. Let me name the triangle as A, B, C. So now from this triangle, what is tan theta? Sorry, what is tan A equal to? So in this triangle, what is tan A equal to? Okay, you all know very well tan A is equal to opposite side of the triangle by adjacent side of the triangle, or opposite by base, right? What is the opposite side here? BC, which itself is our height of the building, and adjacent side is AC, which is the distance from the base of the building to the point where the protractor and the laser are placed, right? This distance. And is it possible to measure this distance? Yes, it is possible. It's a regular measuring device like a measuring tape which is necessary to measure this distance from C to A, which is from the base of the building to point A where the protractor and the laser are placed. Now, you might think that what is the necessity of doing all these things? We might have directly measured the building's height using the measuring tape from point B itself, right? What you're thinking is right. We could have measured the height from point B itself using the measuring type, like what we did in the previous experiment. But think over a situation where you do not have this kind of building. Instead, say you have a tree, okay, of certain height, and the tree is in such a way that you cannot reach the top of the tree by climbing it, right? So now, what is the option that we are left with in order to measure the height of the tree? If you want to take the time taken for the stone to drop from this point to the ground, again you cannot reach the top of the tree, right? So you can't just leave a stone and take the time and then put it into half gt square and get the value of height. No, it's not possible because no one can reach the height of the tree. The tree is in such a way. So, during this kind of situation, this method is going to help us in measuring the height of the tree. Clear with this? So, now BC by AC are, we can name them as O by B now, opposite side by base. Okay. So, we will demonstrate the same thing now. Practically, we are going to take the distance AC and sorry, I can't give you the entire building's height this time. Because it's about taking the point from this using the laser, keeping it on ground and taking the projection here. They are a bit difficult, but we will prove this in this room itself. Okay, in this classroom, we are going to prove what I just taught you. Okay, this angle tan A, you might be aware of standard angles of sine, cos and cosec and all other trigonometric functions, right? So, let me give you few standard angles for tan. The values of tan 30 is, as you know, is it's 1 by root 3, and the value of tan 45 degree or pi by 4 is 1. And the value of tan 60 degree is root 3. Okay, and you have tan 0 is equal to 0, tan 90 is equal to infinity, right? We will make use of these three standard angles and get the height of the wall in the room by measuring the distance from base of the wall to the point where we keep the protractor and the laser. Okay, let us do it and then come back to the calculations. So, dear students, now what I have is a simple apparatus. See, this is a protractor that you can see here, which is used to measure angles, right? And along with that, I have just attached a laser light. Okay, so this is a laser light. As you can see there, there is the point. There is the point where the laser light is reaching. So, I have just placed this laser light in such a way that whatever the angle I make with the laser light with respect to ground, okay, the angle made by the laser light with respect to ground shall be measured by looking into the angle in the protractor. Clear with that? Okay, now we are going to measure the height of this wall, which we don't know now. Okay, we will measure it now. Not by actually measuring the wall, but by measuring this distance, the horizontal distance. Okay, and we will take the horizontal distance and angle made to get the height of the wall, and again we will verify it. Okay, let us do the experiment now. Now, as you can see, I am going to place this protractor here onto the ground, and we are going to take the measurement of angle and the horizontal distance. So, dear students, as you can see there on the top of the wall, you can observe the laser pointer reached, and that's the top of the wall. And now, where is the laser? The laser is here, right? So, this is the laser which is actually giving us the light there on the top of the wall. Now, let us see what is the reading or what is the angle made by the laser light with the ground. Okay, observe carefully there. The angle is 45 degree, right? You can observe it here. So, this is 40 degree and this is 50. What is there in between is 45 degree. So, the angle is 45 degree, and here is the point where we took the reading. This was the point, okay, from where we measured we took the reading, okay. So, this is the point according to the triangle what we just discussed in theory. This is the point A for us, okay. So, this is going to be point A. And what is that point? the distance from A, from here till there, okay, till that point. So according to theory, that point is this, which is point C, okay. So that's the horizontal point. This is the point which will be C, okay. And now what is point B? Point B is this, right? The topmost point where the pointer went, with the laser pointer just projected, okay. So that is point B. So now what we'll do is we'll measure the distance from A to C, or this horizontal distance, okay, which is, this is point C and this is point A, and now we will measure the distance from A to C using measuring tape. So students, now we are going to take the distance from point A to point C using this measuring tape which we have with us. So one end will be fixed to point C and the other end shall be taken to point A, which is here, okay. And now you observe, okay, these readings are in feet, these readings are actually in meters, okay. So now, as you can see, from point C to point A, the distance is 3 meters, okay. Okay. From the observation, what we obtained is angle A is equal to 45 degree, right? The angle made by laser with respect to the ground, right? That we obtained using protractor. And now, what is the adjacent side? The distance AC. The distance AC as we measured is 3 meter. What we actually need? What we need is height, which is BC, right? So BC itself is the height of the wall which we need to calculate. Let us calculate it theoretically now and then go for practical proof, right? So BC is equal to, BC shall be found. Let me put the expression of tan A is equal to BC by AC, which gives me, what is value of A? 45 degree is equal to, what is BC? That has to be found. What is AC? AC is 3 meter. So using this expression, what is BC equal to? Before that, what is tan 45 degree? Tan 45 degree is 1. So we have 1 is equal to BC by 3, right? And finally, we get BC is equal to 3 meter. So theoretically, the value of height of the wall that we obtained is 3 meter, okay. We have not done the actual measurement of the wall till now. It is all the theoretical calculation that we have done, and that value BC is equal to 3 meter, which is the height of the wall. Now let us go and check it practically. Hello students. So now, as you just saw with the calculation, that the height of the wall that we obtained using the trigonometric function of tangent, tan 45 is equal to 1. The height that we obtained is 3 meter, right? Now let us verify, because whatever we do theoretically shall be verified practically. That is where the physics part comes. Now, to verify the height of the building, height of the wall, what I have with me is a scale again, which is of 100 centimeter length, and I'll make use of this scale to get the height of the wall. Let me see what is the height of the wall. So from here to here, it is 100 centimeter, okay, and again from here to here, okay. If I take the reference of board, from here to this point, it is 100 centimeter more, and from here to here, yeah, it reached the top of the building, top of the wall, as you can see, right? So let me come down 100 centimeter, or it is 1 meter, okay, and 2 meter, 3 meter. That's it. So the calculated value of height of the wall, which is 3 meter, is practically right. So now you might be thinking, today there is nothing special about physics in this part, it's more about math, right? No, it is not. Observe carefully. There is a basic principle about propagation of light, which you might have studied even from 5th standard. You remember that? The basic principle of propagation of light is light always goes in a straight line, right? So this proves that the practical observation that we did was 3 meters of height, and the theoretical observation is also giving us 3 meters of height, which means that this hypotenuse has to be a straight line, right? This hypotenuse what we have, that must be a straight line in order to give both the theoretical and the practical calculations matched or practically become equal. What else? What if the light is bending in the way? If the light has bent and took a different path, it might have went like this, or it might have went like this, right? If these are the ways of light where the light has bent, then we would not get the practical value, the theoretical value and the practical observations same. Instead, they would be different. Clear? So this proves that light always propagate in a straight line. Clear with this? You might have thought, okay sir, you might have put 3 wedges and made holes in it, and we could have easily observed that light goes in a straight line. That's fine. That is what you have done in 5th standard. Back then you did not know what is trigonometry, but now you know trigonometry. Let us make use of that, so that we will learn little trigonometry and learn the basic principle about propagation of light. So the light always travels in a straight line. That is why the theoretical observation and the practical value of height of the wall are same. Clear? Good. Okay, so now we got the conclusion that light always travels in a straight line, but that's not a complete definition, or that's not the complete statement of this property. The completeness comes when the change of medium occurs for the light propagation. So, dear students, as long as the light stays in one medium, either air or glass or water, any medium, but it must stay in one medium. So as long as the light stay in one medium, it propagates in a straight line. But if the medium changes, it bends. Light does bend when the medium changes. Now let us see how the light bends when it goes or when it enters from air medium to water medium. Okay, let us see it now. So students, now what I have in my hand is incense sticks, so that we get the idea about path of the light. Because see, even if I switch it on, you can see here the light is traveling in this path, right? It is going here, but you can't see it. But if you have incense sticks, that smoke coming here can actually make the path visible. Can you see the path appearing there? So for that reason, we are going to make use of this. And at the same time, this is bleached water, which will also help us in tracing the path of the light. Look at that. From the top, you can see the path of the light exactly inside it, right? Okay. Now we'll make use of both the smoke from the incense sticks and the bleached water to get the bending of light. Okay. Observe it carefully. Okay. So now, okay, students, look at this. You can observe the path of the light bent. Okay, let me give you more clarity with little more bending effect. Okay, can you see both the paths? They are not the same, right? You can see it, isn't it? You can easily observe that. So this path is not same as the other paths, right? So this path outside is the path of the light in air medium, right? And the path which is appearing inside the water is the path of the light in water medium, and you can easily observe that the light is bent at this point. Okay,